Okay, good morning. Welcome to my channel. So today this project that I am currently working on is a rehab, and as you can see, this is one of the tracker panels. This is one of the other tracker panels that are installed for the different doors. This is the controller brain, and this is a power distribution box that kind of a mess. But the original installer, what they did is they didn't pull enough wire when they did the install, and had to splice everything here and extend it. And this is where the mess is. You have outside doors that come in, other doors that come in through down here. And my job is to fix and clean up the DoorKing access control system and add to that the new overlay access control system for the property. So with all that, I'll go ahead and get started, and we'll check back later. Okay, so now you can see I have the panels down and everything cleaned out. Everything's labeled and brought in. I still have to go through this mess of stuff, which is intertwined and multiple cables coming in to do multiple things. As you can see, like this one here is tied into two, and then so on and so forth. And I have these that are ready to go. Pretty much, but the rest of this has to be cleaned, and the extensions or the splices have to be pulled out. So now it's time for the design part of it. Check back with you soon. Alright, so as you can see, it's looking a little bit different in here. Mounted the brain unit here, brought all the wire from over there over to here, and I still have to go through this mess. Luckily it's all labeled. I've done my dual tracker board enclosure setup. I've got my maximal power distribution system, and I also have my chirp panel down there. Brought everything behind the wall, so realistically there is nothing that will be seen or wire that will be hanging. It will all be incorporated behind the wall, behind the panels, and come through. So that being said, it's gone pretty smoothly, and today is day one, so doing pretty good, I guess. Good morning and welcome to day two. Yesterday we finished the design work of the panel, and today we're going to go ahead and start with getting the system back online. Most of the stuff that we're going to use as far as wire is going to be an 18.6 OAS, 18.4 OAS, and Cat 6. I'm also going to be going through some of my techniques for wiring, some tips and tricks, and other things that I find helpful. This is the 1838 DoorKing mainboard. What we're going to do today is get this online to the DoorKing tracker enclosure. Now each one of these tracker enclosures will control an individual door location. This device down here, which is called a maximal controller made by Ultronics, in my opinion, is the heart of any access control system, or should be. Down here at the bottom we have the new system, which is going to be an overlay for the DoorKing, and that is what is called a chirp panel. I will get more into that as we go along. In the meantime, okay, so I have gotten 3 doors completed and back online. As you can see, kind of a mess. All the wiring has been complete for the main system. Communication is back online. Chirp panel is back working. Well, it's ready, it's wired, and I've tested 1 door, working good. Everything else seems to be going well. Got 4 more doors to go. Got my internet cable strapped to the and stapled to the bottom. Okay, end of day 2. Got 4 doors online. Got communication to the Door King system back up and working. I've got the entire system here is wired, including the internet and battery backup systems. Welcome to day 3. As we left off, we had 4 doors completed and back online working. Today, as you can see, we have this little bit of mess here, which is the completion of 4 doors. I've already applied 1 of the doors to the chirp system just to test, but hopefully I'm working on a completion date of Thursday. Today is Wednesday morning, so I'm going to get started on this and see where it takes me. So a little helpful tip when dealing with tracker boards. In this situation, I have 2 different type of tracker boards. This is the original model, the first generation tracker board. If you're unfamiliar with it, it has jumpers right here that are your address points, and diff switches here, which is your time and other settings, along with the 3 relays and the relay settings there. As you can see, there is a yellow wire right here, and this yellow wire transfers down to here. This wire right next to it, the orange wire, goes right here to common. Now, in the pre-wired tracker enclosure system, what they do, that is a standard setup and standard wiring. Now, when dealing with the newer tracker boards in the design, we have a little pot switch right here, which is your address, and this is whether you're in the teens or in the single digits. We have our relay jumpers right there, and we have our times and everything else setting right here on the analog display. Now, one of the things that I do is that yellow wire and that orange wire. I don't change the orange wire. The orange wire is right there. Now what I do is, if you can tell, the yellow wire is here on the standard wiring setup. I move that yellow wire down to here, which is the exit request. This allows me to terminate the exit request button to here and here, right on the terminal strip, instead of trying to share the common off of the card reader and go with the orange and common. So it makes it a little easier for the wiring design. This is the Ultronics Maximal controller. It is a power distribution system. In this particular instance, I'm using a Maximal, and there are 2 relay control boards, ACM8s, which are 8-door wet or dry contact output for those doors. In this case, there's only 8 doors in this property, but we're using 2 door ACM8s. I plan on putting some accessories on here for power. It keeps me from having to have a whole bunch of transformers that power those devices and so on and so forth. These are battery backup. They also can allow for a fire department input relay to lock open all of these when triggered. And I love these things. This to me here, right here, is what is considered the heart of any access control system, or should be. And majority of the time, installers do not use these, and I don't understand why. Because when you have one of these, it doesn't matter what system you use, whether it be Dorking, whether it be Linear, whether it be, you know, DSX, it don't matter. It's all right here, and you can just go from here and move on. So I'm a huge fan of these things. I love them. Most of the time, if they take a lightning surge or anything like this, it doesn't damage these because these are fusible. It will take out the main power board. Each one of these is, this power board right here is for this top one, and that one there is for the bottom one. So I love these things. They're a little bulky, but you can get this in a single board setup, and it works really, really well. Well, today is day 4. Completed all the wiring on the system. All the doors have been tested. System is online and working very well. The rehab is just about complete. Part of this rehab is a new access control overlay to the Dorking system. I will be bringing the gates into that system, not the Dorking. So, in order to do that, we have what's called a SureFi wireless bridge. Wireless for up to 1 mile. It allows me to transmit WIGIN data and relay commands for up to 1 mile, depending on line of sight and obstacles. What we have is a nice, clean looking system in place. So down at the bottom is the new access control system, and what that will be doing is allowing you to use your phone and proximity to each door via your phone and its Bluetooth to send a signal to the new access control panel, allowing it to fire that door or allow you entry. This is the device right here. It's called the SureFi bridge, and I've wired that in. I've already tested, so now I have to, during all this times that I've been doing these, I've actually come up with a little cool little system. I'll do a couple of video shots on my little design that I've set up. It makes it real easy. I build it in my truck, or you know, when I get done with this here in this room. And then I go out, and it makes installation out there really quick and easy and painless. Okay, so what I have done here is I have gone ahead and mounted my remote interface unit for the SureFi to a 6x6x4 pull box cover lid. I have the box over there, and it has a hole in it for the wiring. But for testing and purposes, I have run my power cable to my maximal, just so I have my 12 volts. And all of my years of doing this and taking 6x6 cover plates off, if you mount them correctly and do them correctly, which I don't use the stock screws when I put this together, I use 1-inch wood screws, which hold the lid on really tight and keep it sealed for a very long time and keep it from warping. Anyway, I use bolts and nuts. I run my power. I come over here, I use bolts and nuts to hold the wire down. I don't torque these down overly because I don't want to crush the wire too much, but I put it in there, and then when it's in there, it's nice and tight, and I don't have to worry about it yanking on anything. Now, normally I will do this with the actual output relay wire as well. Come up, loop, and then come down, and then come out this way with screws here, and I will, but in this instance, the problem is I'm going to be putting this behind a 14x16 J box Important thing is to keep this away from high voltage, so that's why I'm not putting it inside the 14x16. I already have too much stuff in there, so I'll be mounting this to the back side away from the high voltage. And it gets better signal and reception. This is actually the antenna right there. All right, so that being said, here's how this works. You have this little light right here, which is relay 1, that little light right there, which is relay 2, and if you press the test button, as you can see, I have full bars, and when I press it up there, you can see I have full bars, so we're good to go. Now let's see how this works. So we'll go ahead and we'll choose the left entry gate, which I believe is relay 2. You see it fire there in the chirp, you see it come over here, and you see the light on. You see that this is a little horseshoe that is expanding downwards, and then the relay goes off, and then here's the right gate, and there's relay 1, and timing out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drive gate would be released. So this is the SureFi, very, very helpful piece of equipment. It has a line of sight range of 1 mile, but usually when there's obstructions and stuff, it's a little less. However, you can get with the manufacturer, who will give you a special integrator code that will allow you to log into this using this QR code right here and change the frequencies so that you get better reception for longer distances. So anywho, that's how that's going to work. Now, one of the coolest things about this system is yeah, I can hit the buttons here on my phone, and it opens the selected door, but it's also a Bluetooth, so if I have it running in the background, there are special beacons that are placed at each location that when my phone gets within Bluetooth range, it will pick it up automatically, and if I've favorited it in my application, it will automatically fire that when I get within range. So I don't actually have to have my phone in my hand. Okay, so this is the access control panel, the overlay access control panel. Right here, what we have is a Raspberry Pi that is connected to the internet. It has a SIMS card in the top, which is basically its hard drive. And each one of these lights indicate one door. Now you have jumpers here that can set this from a wet contact to a dry contact or what have you, allowing power distribution and so on and so forth. This is our doors that we have landed. Seeing as how we have 8 doors up there, we're going to have 8 doors here. Right here is my gate. These are the gate locations out front, the left side and the right side, so relay 1 and relay 2 on the 1837 unit. And we have our Wi-Fi bridge up there. So basically, here's how it works. So you have locations with pictures on it and so on and so forth. In this particular case, the customer wanted to make it simple and easy, so what basically happens is if I decide I want to go to the pool and I touch the pool area, there it is. Now you can see we have 4 doors that are unlocking, and we'll do it one more time. And you can see my relays firing on there, and then they go out. That's for the, this is why I call this the heart of any access control system. So now we're going to go ahead and do the fitness room. And you see my 2 doors, and then you see the 2 doors firing over there. Really pretty cool. Here we'll go ahead and do the pool again. And there you go. Flashing lights indicates that the gates are open for a specific time, and then they go out. And that's as simple as it is. Okay, those are the beacons I was talking about, and they're Bluetooth controlled, and they just go right to There's no wires, there's no nothing. It just mounts there. It's battery operated. There's one at each location. And then this is the J box, and the 1837 phone unit is over there. As I said before, here is my enclosure, and like I said, I don't use the standard screws. I find those are really crappy. I use 1-inch wood screws. That way they really torque down. It keeps the lid on tight. It's mounted with nuts and bolts. My power is done with inside of here, and I pulled a brand new 18.4 from this box to that phone unit right there, and it went relatively smoothly. So yeah, that's now connected to that panel inside and allows the gates to open with an app.